Did you know that divorce for over 50-year-olds has doubled in recent years, and in over 65-year-olds the rate has tripled? In 2019, roughly 36% of all divorces were among people over age 50, and in all age groups, women consistently initiate about 70% of all divorces among heterosexual couples. Grey, aka older divorces, follow this pattern with over 60% being initiated by women. After a grey divorce, men are more likely to remarry than women, with about 37% of men remarrying within 10 years versus about 22% of women remarrying. Why do women initiate divorce more often, especially later in life? Here are some reasons. 1. Today's older women are more likely to have their own career, savings, retirement benefits, and financial agency than prior generations. This makes it more realistic to leave an unhappy marriage without relying entirely on a spouse for economic survival. Additionally, 2. There are shifts in social norms with a reduced stigma around divorced women. Women are increasingly comfortable ending marriages that no longer meet their emotional or life needs, even after decades together. 3. Relationship dynamics and emotional labor research suggests women are often more attuned to relational quality and may work harder to maintain emotional and domestic harmony. When problems persist, such as lack of emotional support, inequality in household labor, or persistent conflict, women may ultimately decide divorce is the best path. 4. Life stage reassessment. Later life, especially after children leave home or at retirement, can prompt re-evaluation of personal goals, identity, and life satisfaction. Women may decide they want a different path for their remaining years, rather than staying in an unsatisfying marriage. 5. Abuse or serious marital problems. For some individuals, long-standing issues, including emotional, verbal, or physical abuse, contribute to decisions to end a marriage. Studies often find women are more likely to take the step of filing for divorce in these situations. In summary, grey divorce is significantly more common now than it was a few decades ago, particularly for people 50 and older. While broader divorce rates have declined, later life divorces have doubled or tripled in many age brackets. Women tend to initiate most divorces, including at older ages, for reasons that include more financial autonomy, less social stigma, greater awareness of relational dissatisfaction, re-evaluation of life goals, long-standing marital issues that reach a breaking point. How can you avoid being a part of these rising statistical numbers? Studies would suggest shifting one's sense of marriage from being static to taking on a more dynamic approach. Marriage in theory is a long-duration proposition. On a practical level, it might be a good idea to do regular, succinct check-ins on your marriage. Perhaps introducing regular therapy check-ins before problems come up. This takes marriage off autopilot and builds in a maintenance and potentially a discipline schedule. Human nature tends to vacillate towards the easiest path. Relationships can suffer when left up to basic human nature behavior. If therapy is cost-prohibitive or culturally prohibitive, a trusted friend, or if practicing a religious figure or community person could also be helpful. The goal is to have some objectivity, which can be trusted and allowed to add perspective, and remind us that marriage should not be put on autopilot always.